Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I hope you're keeping well. Smash the like button on this video. As always, I ask you guys to smash the like button. Really helps the channel. It really helps me grow. So yeah, smash the like button. Let's try and get this video to 100 likes. Guys, I wanted to talk about Oleksandr Uysk. Oleksandr Uysk has called out Canelo. Well, not called out, but he's basically said that he'd be willing to fight Canelo Alvarez at cruiserweight. What do you guys make of that? Oleksandr Usyk calling out Canelo. Well, not calling him out. I keep saying calling him out, but saying that he would take a fight with Canelo at cruiserweight, but only on one condition: if his heavyweight titles don't, if he gets to keep his heavyweight titles, he'll come back down to cruiserweight and fight Canelo. Obviously, Canelo's moving up to cruiserweight, according to reports that he's moving up to, cruiserweight and fighting Makabu. But apparently, Makabu's got a mandatory on him. And I don't know whether they're going to let Canelo fight Makabu before he can fight his mandatory. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how that's all gonna play out. But it looks like Canelo Alvarez could be fighting Makabu next. So Oleksandr Usyk says that, I'd be willing to fight Canelo at cruiserweight. He goes, he's a very handsome man, and he'd be willing to fight Canelo at cruiserweight. So look, I actually think I actually think, that would be great. The fans would definitely get excited about that. But is it practical? Is it realistic? No, that's not going to happen. Let's be brutally honest. Canelo's not going to fight Oleksandr Usyk. I actually had someone talk about this. One of the subscribers actually said that I want Canelo Alvarez to win, become undisputed at light heavyweight, which is going to be no easy feat. A lot of people seem to think that he would lose to Bivol and he'd lose to Beterbiev. But a lot of his fans want him to go to light heavyweight, become undisputed. And then he said, I'd want him to fight Oleksandr Usyk at cruiserweight. And then that's it, end his career. After that, win or lose against Oleksandr Usyk, end his career. I just don't think it's a realistic, practical fight. I think Usyk is too big. He's too big. He's too big for Canelo. I don't think, as crazy as it sounds, I don't think Usyk would stop Canelo. I don't think Usyk would stop Canelo. I think Canelo would be able to go the distance. I think Usyk is just like, I don't think Canelo's fought as good a boxer as that. Like, in terms of skill set. Like, if you look at the guys that he's fought, Lara and stuff like that, like, who else? Golovkin's a different pressure fighter. Who has he fought? A skilled fighter? Maybe Mayweather, of course, but that was a long time ago. But he hasn't really fought anybody he hasn't even fought anybody. Forget the size. He hasn't fought anyone as good a boxer as Usyk, right? And Usyk is far, far bigger than him as well. So he's not just fighting someone so much bigger. He's fighting a guy that he's fighting a style and a skilled boxer that he's never faced before. Like, Usyk is better than anything Canelo's been in the ring with, from a skills point of view. From a skills point of view, Usyk is better than anything Canelo's got in the ring with. So he's not just now going to be going in with somebody that I would consider an elite fighter in terms of his skill set. But he's also now going in with somebody that's huge, way, way bigger than him. So that for me wouldn't be it's not a realistic fight. It's not practical, because Usyk would be a massive, massive favorite in that fight. Massive favorite. And I don't really think Canelo can hurt Usyk as well. Usyk's got Joshua couldn't hurt Usyk. Joshua hit Usyk flush and there was no reaction. So Canelo would be at a massive disadvantage there. I don't think that's a realistic fight. I love Canelo, but against Usyk, no chance. Just no chance. Even though, like I said, I think Canelo is a monster. And there isn't many guys. Like, it's Canelo, so you never know. You think that, the guy, we act as if he's Superman, but he's not. Look, Kovalev gave him a little bit of trouble. And Kovalev's a lot smaller than Usyk, and he's not even as good a boxer as Usyk. Usyk is like very, very quick. He's sharp. He moves from side to side. You know, it's a horrible, horrible style. And then when you think about the fact that, you know, it's not like you're chasing a guy or you're chasing a guy around that, you can knock out. This is a big man. So he's not just going to be able to absorb your shots, and he's such a good boxer. It's just so difficult for Canelo to win a fight like that. It's almost impossible. You know, it's almost impossible when you think about it, because like I said, this is not just a very skilled boxer, it's a very big skilled boxer. Like I said, he just became unified heavyweight champion. He just beat Anthony Joshua. You know, and imagine Canelo against Anthony Joshua. Like, the size is just too much. It's just too much, because Usyk is about 6'3". Canelo is 5'8". And yeah, I think the movement, the size, the strength, the speed, even the speed of Usyk. Usyk is fast as well, you know. And now Canelo's fast. When he gets in close, he's very fast. It's just that I don't think Canelo can really hurt Usyk, and I don't think Canelo can outbox Usyk. If guys like Billy Joe Saunders and Plant are able to win a couple of rounds against Canelo, then imagine what Usyk would do, who's far, far superior skill set than those guys. This would be very difficult for Canelo. I'll be honest with you. And like I said, I favor him to beat like Beterbiev, and I favor him to beat Bivol. And a lot of people don't even think he wins those fights, but I personally think he beats those guys. But Usyk, yeah, that unfortunately would be a step too far. Even for the great Canelo Alvarez, that would be a step too far. He's too big. He's too big. For me, Canelo fighting Beterbiev is a brilliant. You know, Canelo's daring to be great. Fighting Usyk would be. Look, here's the thing with the Usyk fight. It's not a dangerous fight. It's a dangerous fight in terms of he probably loses, but it's not a dangerous fight in terms of like he's fighting someone so much bigger, and Usyk's not really a big puncher. He's not really a big banger. So like, it's not as dangerous. It's not as dangerous as, you know, fighting someone that big that's a banger. Usyk's not really a banger. He's more of a boxer. But then having said that, Usyk is a big guy. So, yeah, we may think he's not really a banger, but to Canelo, he might be a banger, you know? So, again, I don't think it's as dangerous, because Usyk isn't like a knockout artist. So I still think Canelo can compete with him and go 12 rounds. I just don't think he can win enough rounds to win the fight. And, you know, Usyk might even shut Canelo out, you know? Because if Canelo's not able to hurt Usyk, it's going to be quite comfortable for Usyk, isn't it? He's too big as well. He's got all the physical advantages. He's a very skilled boxer. He's got a very good chin, you know. I just think, yeah, I just don't see how Canelo would overcome that size, the skill set. I just don't see how Canelo would overcome that. It would be a massive, massive, for me, it would be a massive achievement if Canelo was to beat someone like Usyk. I'm saying he's a top 10 great fighter of all time. If he was to beat someone like Usyk, with what Usyk's achieved in the sport, you know, gold medalist, undisputed cruiserweight champion, unified heavyweight champion. Usyk might go on to become undisputed heavyweight champion. All he has to do is beat Tyson Fury. He beats Tyson Fury. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. If he beats Fury, that's how great like Usyk is. That's the kind of levels that Usyk is playing. He's operating in that right now. You know, Usyk is a special fighter. But Canelo is a special fighter. And I actually said to someone that if these two guys were the same size, I would favor Canelo to win the fight. But like I said, the size advantage here would be massive. You know, Canelo is a small guy. You know, even for super middleweight, if you look at most of the guys that Canelo fights, he's a smaller guy. He's not a big guy. Canelo's not a big guy for even super middleweight. Canelo's a small guy. For super middleweight, that is. So now imagine Canelo fighting at cruiserweight against a guy that's gone up to heavyweight. You know, Usyk's a big guy. Like, you know, what was he, about 230 pounds when he fought Joshua? You know, he's a big dude, man. He's a big dude. So yeah, I can't really see Canelo winning that fight. And as you guys know, I'm a massive Canelo fan, but it would be nigh on impossible for me to see. Like, you know, when I'm a big Amir Khan fan, as you guys know. When Amir Khan fought Canelo, I just couldn't see a way of Amir Khan beating Canelo. I just could, irrespective of how good a boxer or the skill set he had. And Canelo's a more complete fighter than Khan. He's got a better defense and, you know, better chin. There's many things that Canelo's much better at. Khan is a good, naturally gifted boxer that can box and got fast hands, but he isn't as complete as Canelo. The point is that Usyk is also very complete and he's also very big. It was a lot bigger than Canelo. You know, we're talking about a guy that's probably around probably 6-7 inches taller and probably naturally 50-60 pounds heavier. It's just a mismatch in terms of size. And then, like I said, Usyk is a very skilled fighter. It's not like the skill gap here is not that much, you know. So it's not like Canelo's moving up to cruiserweight to fight Makabu, who's not on Canelo's level. Usyk is on Canelo's level in terms of skill set. Usyk has an unbelievable skill set. So this is what I mean. The skill gap between Makabu and Canelo is huge. The skill gap between Usyk and Canelo isn't big, but the size difference is massive. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So Canelo would have a very, very difficult chance. Like, it just would be impossible. As great as Canelo is, it wouldn't be possible for him to beat Usyk. Usyk is just too big. He's just too big. So it's not really a realistic fight. It's a fight that, yeah, we'd all be interested in. We'll all watch it. But in terms of Canelo winning that fight, it'll be very difficult. You know, nigh impossible to beat someone that big, that skilled. It just wouldn't happen. As much as I love Canelo, as much as I would love to see him, you know, beat Usyk, or love to see him win fights, but yeah, win that kind of fight for his legacy. But yeah, I don't think Canelo would entertain that, just because I think Canelo would know that that would be a step too far, unless he dares to be great and he gets to the point where he doesn't care about losing. Well, he's obviously going to care about losing. He's only lost once, but what I mean by that is he'd have to go into that fight knowing that, you know what, this could go pear-shaped. So he'd have to dare to be great. You know, and not care. I just don't think. I don't think he would look to fight Usyk. I just think the size difference, and of course Usyk would want it because Usyk would receive the biggest payday of his life. Usyk, of course, he would want to fight Canelo. Of course, even though Usyk made a lot of money fighting Joshua, Canelo, he'd look at Canelo that this is a smaller man. It'll be an easier fight for me, and I'll get paid a load of money. So of course, Usyk would be very interested in that fight. He'd be very, very interested in fighting Canelo, but I'm not sure. Canelo is too smart. He's got a smart team around him. I just can't see them looking to fight Usyk. But anyway, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think this fight could happen? Do you think if it does happen, it's a competitive fight? Do you think Canelo would have a chance? Do you see Canelo having a chance against Usyk? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.